it for now. Hopefully somebody else joins. So I'm going to start. And hi, everyone. I'm Patty Maxwell with Sybarite Travel. I'm the founder and a travel consultant, and I'm located in the beautiful seacoast of New Hampshire. At Sybarite Travel, we specialize in working with discerning luxury cruise and tour clientele who want to experience the world and create life-enhancing memories without having to waste precious time and energy finding the perfect getaway. What makes us different? It's travel expertise you can trust. We're your travel experts, not an online booking engine or online review website. Personalized service. We work hard to create connections with you so you can customize a trip that checks all the boxes on your fantastic getaway. Thorough communication. And communication is the key to a happy working relationship with all our clients. My commitment to you is I'll help you experience the world and create life-enhancing memories without having to waste precious time and energy finding the perfect getaway. I do this by creating customized vacations that are sumptuous, safe, stress-free, and enriching, and leave you feeling pampered and refreshed. Now tonight, we're here for our very first live tea and travel chat. It's a monthly webinar travel chat where we'll discuss everything about travel, destinations, and information I hope you'll find fun and educational. I'm so glad you joined us. And this evening we'll be chatting about river cruising, which is one of the fastest growing segments in the travel industry. Sleeper ships, larger cabins, a range of culinary options, and a wide diversity of itineraries and shore excursions are all contributing to its explosion in popularity. Joining us tonight to talk about river cruising is a travel partner, Kathy Brock. Kathy's a business development manager from AmaWaterways, working in the Southeast region. I believe you cover 7 states, Kathy?
I do.
Okay. And she's been with AmaWaterways for 15 years. She's a wealth of information and well-traveled. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy so she can take you on a trip on a river cruise, talk about river cruising.
Awesome. Has anybody ever done a river cruise?
No.
Nope. Okay. Have you done big ship cruising?
Never
Yes.
cruised.
Never cruised. Oh, well, I got one better for you. I got one for you. Yeah. If this doesn't work, you'd be surprised. Okay. I think one of the things we need to get our head around first is this insane time that we're going through, that the word I came up with back in March was the word beyond. And I'm still on that word, beyond. Where do you want to go when we get beyond this? And I think what's even more important is who do you want to go with when you get beyond this? If we haven't learned anything out of this experience, it's how incredibly important friends and family are to us and how we should take advantage of the time together. So I always have to point out the difference between river cruising and big ship cruising because there's such a huge difference. I mean, a big ship is 2,000 to 6,000 passengers. A river cruise ship like the one you see right here in the little city of Passau, Germany, that ship only carries 156 passengers. Now, what's the difference between a vessel with 2,000 people and 156 people? We're also not in any international waters, and we're not crossing international borders. So if any of that is a concern to you, then river cruising is your home-free decision. I always have to start with the map because I know everybody's heard of a Rhine River. They've heard of the Danube River, but where the heck is one and where's the other? So if you look up here at the North Sea, actually it's the Rhine up here It actually flows from Basel, Switzerland, up to Amsterdam to the North Sea. The Danube River's down here. And you have to understand that these rivers were never connected until 1992. They built this Main-Danube Canal in 1992, although the first person who had the ideas to connect these rivers was a fellow by the name of Charlemagne. So that's how long it took to accomplish this engineering marvel. So the Main-Danube Canal connects the Rhine River with the Danube River. So now the rivers are connected from the North Sea through 15 different countries all the way to the Black Sea. This is a huge thing. This is what's given birth to river cruising. The other thing you need to understand here is that these, not the roads, these rivers were the original highways of Europe. If it had rained for 4 or 5 days, we're going to get the overflow from Hurricane Delta for the next 3 days. And if we were trying to cope with dirt roads and catamaran roads, we wouldn't be able to do it. But you could always move on the rivers. So that's why civilization grew up on the riverbanks. Little Celtic villages turned into towns, which turned into cities. And that's why when you sail the rivers of Europe, you're literally going to dock in the middle of a town or a city or a village. You're going to walk off the ship and do walking tours. We do hiking tours. We do bicycle tours, and we do culinary tours. And these, in the case of AmaWaterways, are all included. You don't have to pay for excursions with AmaWaterways. We're offering between 4 and 6 excursions every single day. Some fabulous rivers over in France, the Seine, which goes from Paris to Normandy beaches, the Rhone and the Saône, which is Burgundy and Provence and lavender and sunflowers and all the areas where Vincent van Gogh did so much of his painting. And then another small river over here, actually an estuary coming off the Atlantic Ocean, is the Bordeaux area. Now, Bordeaux is typically known for wine, wine, and more wine. But if you're not that much into wine, there's plenty of other excursions in this beautiful area. One more river in Europe, and that is the Douro, which flows from Portugal into a bit of Spain. This is a fabulous region for scenery and for food and wine. Now, this is how you summarize river cruising. Oceans take you to countries, but only rivers will take you through them. You're not going to get to cities like Prague, Budapest, Cologne, Heidelberg, Strasbourg. You will not get to any of those places on a big ship. A big ship comes in at the edge of the country. It docks there in the port. You get off the ship, you're 4 or 5 hours in the country or in the port, and then you get back on the ship and you sail away. This is the Danube River, my favorite little town on the Danube. This little town is called Dürnstein. There's one of our beautiful ships right there, 156 passengers. You've got the blue Baroque tower you can see for a mile along the river. You've got those red tile roofs. And what I adore, and it really is a very small town, it's not a city. This is it. We dock right in the town, walk off. Now, up here is a castle ruin, and actually this castle ruin was where Richard the Lionheart was held for ransom as he tried to return from the Crusades. And there is a nice little path that goes up the side here. So if you'd like to join us on a hike, we will have 2 guides, one up the front and one at the back. Nobody's left behind. We do the same thing with bicycle tours. In this case, the bicycle tour goes from Dürnstein to the beautiful Melk Abbey. And again, the 2 guides. So this is how you summarize river cruising. Now I need to tell you not only about river cruising, about what the AMA difference is. AMA is a small family-owned company. Only 3 families own AmaWaterways. They started this company 18 years ago, July 1. They still own and operate this company completely. This is not a corporate mentality. This is not a level of corporate management. This is these 3 families with this company. Patty can reach out to any one of these 3 people and they will respond to her. Gentleman on the far left's Rudy Schreiner. He's actually an architect trained in Vienna. He designs our ships and designs our itineraries. He's pretty much as known as the godfather of river cruising. He invented something called the French balcony, and I'll show you what one of those is. To the right there is Christine Karst. Christine grew up in Dresden, Germany, and never traveled until that wall came down. Then over on the right is Gary Murphy. Now, actually, it was his dad, Jimmy, that was the 3rd partner, but we lost Jimmy a few years ago, so now Gary is the 3rd family owner. Jimmy was an immigrant too. Jimmy came over on a ship by himself from Dublin, Ireland, with $50 in his pocket, and he lived the American dream. And the reason I emphasize this is because we are 18 years old, but we only have 19 ships. Now, there's a company that does beautiful television commercials, but I have to tell you, they have 75 ships. We have 19 ships. Maybe a little difference in service levels and maintenance on 19 versus 75. Also, we only put 156 passengers on our ships, while they put 192. The main thing to understand about the river cruise ships, with one exception, which I'll show you, is that their ships are all the same size. Now, the dining room's the same size, the lounge is the same size. With 192 passengers, you're putting 40 more people into the lounge and the dining room. And I have to tell you, I'm hearing impaired, so I can tell when you put me in a room with 40 more people and the noise level and the comfort level differences. But the reason I emphasize that these folks were all immigrant families is because they had the mentality that comes from that age and that experience with, if you build something, if you buy something, you pay for it. So I can tell you right now, there is no debt on any of our ships. As Rudy says, he can sleep at night. Now, this is huge in this time and in experience that we're in. I mean, some of you may wonder what companies, what restaurants, what cruise lines are going to come out of this. Well, AMA is. Every one of us are still fully employed and working like crazy for these lovely events. Lots of new protocols in place to go back on the rivers. It'll be protocols for guests, for crew, for hotel staff. Now, food is not that big a problem for us because we've never been a company that did a lot of buffets. We've always had served breakfast, and there's champagne to have a mimosa with your eggs Benedict. We have served lunch, and we have served 5-course dinners. We serve regional cuisine and standard American cuisine, and we can accommodate any dietary need with the exception of kosher. Now, these are the protocols, but these are not the protocols we're talking about. These are the protocols right now that we have in place, because on July 5th of this year, we started sailing the beautiful Ama Christina on the Rhine River for European guests. So while other companies are out there saying, our protocols are in development, we assure you that everything will be safe when we come back. Well, here we are already sailing since July and scheduled to sail through New Year's Eve, putting the protocols in place. It's not a matter of development, it's there. Things like the face coverings when you're moving around the ship. When you're seated in the lounge, in the dining room, those face coverings are not required. temperature checks every single morning, as well as boarding and disembarking the ship. And something Rudy built from the start is that the clean air, we have no recirculated air. Whether it's your cabin or whether it's a public area, it is all pulling fresh air in. Now, a lot of folks are going to have to retool everything to accomplish that. And all of our ships are already there and have the green award on every one. We do have a sense of humor. We call everybody that sails with us part of the AMA family. Here you have family members, the captain on the AMA Christina, the hotel manager, a couple of cabin stewards, and the most important person up in the world there is the chef. And we also have a pastry chef on board all of our ships. So absolutely delightful. We are doing a very special offer right now. If you have any friends or families that have worked through this insane time in the medical field, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, lab technicians, EMTs, we're offering them a free cruise, as long as they have a paying companion in the cabin with us. If you know anybody that fits that category, please refer them to Patty. This is a fabulous opportunity. My last number was that we were offering at this point over 3,000 free cruises to our medical heroes. Now, we do have a fly free offer. I'll mention this at the back end. It's on select sailings. There's that fabulous town of Dürnstein again on the Rhine, on the Danube River. And you know, as you sail along these rivers, you're going to look at these little towns, villages. There's going to be a church spire in the middle. And sometime it's going to cross your mind, gosh, these just look like fairy tale villages. Well, the gentleman, two gentlemen that wrote the fairy tales were the name of the Grimm brothers. And the Grimm brothers actually lived on the banks of the Danube. So all they did was illustrate their stories with where they lived. So it's beautiful scenery all the way along the rivers. We have several cabin categories. I don't have a picture of the one called the fixed window. Fixed window is the entry-level cabin, and it's just that. It's a window that doesn't open. The next category up, ignore the one on the left, just look at on the two doors on the right side. That's called a French balcony. A French balcony are sliding glass doors that open completely out onto the river. You get the fresh air, you get the scenery, but it's not actually a step-out balcony. That was invented by Rudy back in 1992, and it was the signature cabin design for all river cruise ships up until 2010. In 2010, the folks that regulate the locks, everything about the size and shape of a river cruise is determined by the locks that it has to go through. A standard river cruise ship is 38 feet wide, and when you're in a lock, you're going to have 11 inches of clearance between you and that wall. So what happened in 2010 is the folk that regulate those locks said, okay, you can build a longer ship. So they gave Rudy an additional 80 feet. Rudy took his 80 feet and he only added 6 cabins. So that's when we went from 148 passengers to our big ships of 156 passengers. That's when the other folks went from 148 passengers to 192. The ships are the same size. So you can see, to do a twin balcony design, you have to have at least 210 to 235 square feet. That's why we're only carrying 156 guests. So we do have connecting cabins on 6 of our ships now. If you're going to travel multi-generation or travel with a senior parent, how great would that be to have a connecting cabin? These 6 vessels also have a triple cabin category. It will accommodate a third person, and we do have suites that will accommodate a family of 4. Behind the wood screen here is a full-size bedroom, and here is a queen size bed fold out. We do occasionally have families and children on board. It's not that common. It's vacation time, Christmas market time. They tend to be very well-traveled children and very well-behaved children. They're also being watched by every grandparent on that ship. So they tend to toe the line. I have usually seen perhaps one family at a time when I've been on river cruises. Oh, our food is to die for. We have to have beautiful food because this is the oldest gastronomic society in the world. It's called La Chaîne de Rôtisseurs, and every bit of our food has to be locally sourced. There cannot be anything frozen, not even frozen fish. So we are on a first name basis with all the local fishmongers, and presentation really does look like this. So I want to skip by and then come back. I want to introduce you, it's about a 4-minute video, and I want to introduce you to Rudy and Christine. I think you will get an idea of the heart and the soul of this company with your time with Rudy and Christine. So it's a Zoom platform. Sometimes it does a little stagger thing, and the mouth shape might not match the audio, but they only talk where you can see their faces for the first 20 seconds. After that, it's all voiceover. So please spend a few minutes with us to meet Rudy and Christine and our new ship.
Why the name Ama?
Ama in Latin, amore, means love. For us, there was so much love that went into the creation of our company.
That's the whole reason for AmaWaterways.
Together, we had a dream to create the very best river cruise line that would be out there, ships that we would enjoy ourselves. River cruising is something very intimate. It's an immersion into the culture. You see the country. We are docked mostly in the heart of the city.
The destination is still the countries you visit, not so much the ship. The river cruise really gives you double the leisure time. The ship is a means of luxury transportation from destination to destination.
The Ama Magna was Rudy's dream. We have created the most unique floating boutique hotel on the Danube River, I would say on all the rivers.
This ship is double as wide as most of the other ships on the rivers. It has 4 restaurants. It has large staterooms. It has a fantastic wellness area.
We even have spinning bikes with the most magical view to the river.
We also have a nice massage room. We have a hairdresser on board.
We offer some classes, stretching, core, and then we go out, our tours. They are all included. Or maybe you want to just jump into our beautiful swimming pool. I see more and more guests just sitting there, enjoying a glass of wine while the ship is cruising, enjoying the scenery until we arrive in our next port. You open a storybook, and every day you fill a blank page with an adventure. At Ama, we are very proud of our people. Our crew is part of our family. They are so genuine. They anticipate the needs of our guests. We are so fortunate to be surrounded by crew members and our cruise managers with the right attitude, with the right heart, with the sparkle, and with the genuine smile. We look forward to welcoming you to our AmaWaterways family.
And we'll see you on the Danube. Cheers.
Now, the reason Rudy said, we'll see you on the Danube, is because that is where this ship sails. Rudy realized, it took him 2 years to build the ship. So he realized about 4 or 5 years ago that the locks from the bottom of that Main-Danube Canal, from there, this is just north of the down to the Black Sea, were designed and built to hold 2 ships side by side. So Rudy decided he could build a wider ship. Now, I told you those other ships, anything on the Main-Danube Canal and all the way up to the North Sea, those ships are 38 feet wide. But when you get to the bottom of the Main-Danube Canal, we can do this double wide ship. And you really don't get an image of what's the difference between 38 feet wide and 72 feet wide. But you know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words? I think this one does it. That is the Ama Magna next to a Viking longship. The critical point here is that these 2 ships carry the same number of passengers. Consider the space difference here. Consider what Rudy said, 4 restaurants. All of our ships have 2 restaurants. This one has 4. Al fresco on the top deck looking out on the river. Jimmy's, named for Jimmy Murphy, kind of like an Irish pub. And now all of our ships have something called the chef's table, specialty restaurant. The chef's table seats just 24 to 26 people. And it has a private chef preparing and plating a 7-course paired wine dinner. And there is no charge for dining at the chef's table. It is included for everyone. So you have the chef's table restaurant and you have a main dining room. Now, what's different about Ama main dining rooms versus everybody else main dining rooms? Of course, there's got to be a difference. Well, the other lines typically have every single table in their dining room for 6 people. That's just not dinner with 6. That's breakfast with 6. Here you can see Ama has tables for 2. We have tables for 4. We even have 5-top tables. Now, why would we have 5-top tables? Because we have solo travelers and they're so comfortable with us. So every day, depending on how you feel, how many people or who you want to dine with. It's very, very special. You'll also see the design and the decor, country club casual. Now, the Magna's different. Everything's bigger. Rudy could have put a whole lot more cabins on this ship, but he did not. So we have wide hallways. Every river cruise ship, the heart of the ship is the main lounge. The main lounge is where the cruise manager is going to tell you everything that's coming up. It describe all the different shore excursions, 4 to 6 of them, so you can decide what you want to go on. Then this is also where the sip and sail is held the hour before dinner with open bar as well as the beer, wine, and soft drinks. And this is where the entertainment happens after dinner at night and our onboard musician as well. Few extra things on the Ama Magna is 2 lounges with fireplaces. And Rudy had extra space, so he thought he'd throw in a cinema. Cinema does have a couple PlayStations in case we got any kids on board. But this is what I love the day you're in Salzburg, Austria. We offer you the choice of a half day or a full day trip to Salzburg. You drive over those beautiful Austrian hills. You spend a full day in the city of Salzburg. You come back, you have dinner. And if you come into the cinema after dinner, I'll bet we'll be screening The Sound of Music. And you bring the wine, we'll bring the popcorn. Every one of our ships has a fitness center, a beauty salon, and a massage center. It's just bigger on the Ama Magna. The Ama Magna even has a juice bar. And here's those crazy spinning bikes. You know, I do the regular bikes. I have not done the spinning bikes. Somehow the thought of spinning backwards down the river, I'm not sure about. We have either a pool or jacuzzi on the top deck of all of our ships. Now, this one is a combination pool and jacuzzi, but you can't tell that because the photographer was here at the jacuzzi end. That's one of the 5 bars. This is a pop-up bar and a unique elevator, never been done before. Now, typically the sun deck or the top deck of a river cruise ship, every single thing up there has to lower in the case of low bridges. Even the wheelhouse lowers and the captain steers remotely. In this case, Rudy invented an elevator that rises up. You step out of the elevator, and then the elevator lowers back down. Just another extra little innovation from Rudy. Country Club Casual, but the next picture is the majority of the cabins on this ship are this design. This is 355 square feet. The bathrooms have floating vanities, walk-in showers, and separate water closets. We have a seating area here with its own computer connected. We also have a bedroom area with a huge television up here and a balcony where you can sit and watch. And for the time being, during the COVID insanity, we are offering room service 3 meals a day as well. We do have the bicycles on board, and we send the guides out. As I said, you do not have to buy a beverage package. Now, if you're familiar with ocean cruising, you're going to understand that you've got to buy a beverage package. Otherwise, you will pay for everything, even water. You cannot bring anything on to an ocean cruise ship. We don't guard the gangway. If you're in a local shop or a vineyard or a beer garden and like something, bring it back on board. We're serving the premium wines from the vineyards that we're sailing by. We have a different red wine and white wine every single day. So no beverage package. We also have wine cruises that are above and beyond the regular cruise, where they are hosted by a wine expert doing tastings and lectures and a paired wine dinner. Now I get to tell you what my favorite is. You know how they always say, what's your favorite cruise? Well, it's sort of like asking me which is my favorite of the 2 daughters, but we won't go there. But I do not hesitate when somebody asks me my favorite river cruise itinerary, because it is the Christmas markets. I have done the Christmas markets 7 times. And if they open the gates this year, I'll have number 8. If not, it'll be next year. Now, Christmas season is very, very different in Europe. They don't decorate a tree. They don't decorate the inside of stores. They decorate entire cities. This is the fabulous city of Vienna. And the main market, there's actually 6 other markets. You do not have to travel over Christmas. The Christmas markets open based on Advent, typically the 24th or 25th of November. But this one in fabulous Vienna is opening this year on the 18th, and Budapest is opening on the 9th. So think about going over Thanksgiving or that first week in Christmas of December, and do all your Christmas shopping in 1 week and bring it all home. This is a local thing. The tradition goes back 700 to 900 years. Every city, every town, even the villages have their own Christmas markets. The locals come out. Everybody's out in the afternoon and the evening. As you walk through these Christmas markets, you're going to smell sausages roasting, and the nuts are going to be roasting, and the Lebkuchen, which is their version of gingerbread. Absolutely fabulous. Have to tell you 2 pictures of my favorite city in the entire whole wide world, and that is the beautiful city of Prague. Prague is beautiful all year round, but so much more beautiful at Christmas time. This is the Old Town Square. Obviously, this is one side of the square, and every other side looks similar to this. It's incredible. They like this huge tree. The tree lights go with the music. The market stalls here are fabulous. Always, always, always try the street foods. The street foods are so wonderful, whether it's the sausages or the pastries that you can enjoy. Salzburg, I mentioned Salzburg. That market is actually located right outside the door to the beautiful Salzburg Cathedral. So wonderful experience here in Salzburg. We decorate like crazy inside and outside the ship. We have a tree trimming contest where we got 2 trees going and you get to judge which tree looks better. But my favorite evening on a Christmas market cruise is when we honor St. Nicholas Feast. For St. Nicholas Feast, the children put their shoes outside the door and they receive a gift from St. Nicholas. So we ask our guests to put a shoe out in the hallway to see what St. Nicholas will bring them. All these countries have so many different Christmas traditions, which you will learn about. This is the signature beverage at this time of year in Europe. It's called Glühwein, and it is a hot mulled wine. It has spices, cinnamon, cloves, oranges, but all the markets always have hot chocolate, hot cider, and hot punch as well, if you're not into a hot mulled wine. The main point here is that every single market has their own Christmas market mug. So you're going to collect 2 or 3 of these, and you're going to bring them home. And for the rest of your life, every time you pull out one of those Christmas mugs, the memories are just going to flood back. So absolutely my favorite itinerary, 7 times, and raring to go for number 8. We have 3 exotic opportunities for you. We are the only river cruise line to function in Africa. We have a small ship. I call her a wee ship. She's called the Zambezi Queen. She only has 14 cabins. So her entire capacity is 28 people. She's sailing on the Chobe River. The Chobe runs between Zimbabwe and Botswana. It has the largest concentration of elephants in the world, and from the ship you'll be game viewing by land and by water. And then after your 4 nights on the Chobe, on the Zambezi Queen, you will then go for 2 nights to Victoria Falls and stay at that fabulous hotel there. You add to that either South Africa or East Africa. We are also in Southeast Asia. We are in Cambodia and Vietnam. I was really hesitant about this destination. I did this finally 6 years ago in August. It was the most astounding, powerful, and life-changing trip I've ever done. And I've done Africa twice. I really hesitated, but when I realized people look at Vietnam 1 or 2 ways, Vietnam the country or Vietnam the war. My head was on the war side. I didn't realize Vietnam is the fastest growing economy in the entire world. And the really key factor here is that 65% of the population of that country is under 45 years of age. So they don't remember what we do. If Southeast Asia, Thailand, any of those areas is on your list, Angkor Wat, Angkor Thom, Halong Bay, oh, please consider this. Brand new destination for us in September of next year. We are returning to the Nile. Rudy has realized he can design his own ship here. So when you do the Nile, you don't simply hop in and do a 7-night cruise and then leave. You have to bookend your Egypt sailing with Cairo. So in our case, we're doing 3 nights in the 4 Seasons Hotel in Cairo. So you recover from the jet lag, tour Cairo. Then you're going to fly down. On the 7-night cruise, you're going to do everything. You're going to do Luxor. You're going to do Aswan. You're going to even go to Queen Nefertari's tomb, which most people don't get to. You don't realize actually that the tombs are on one side of the river and the temples on the other. Never the twain shall meet. Then you do go back for 1 more night at the 4 Seasons and have lunch at the Presidential Palace. The ship is under construction now. She's named after the flower in Egypt, the dahlia. So she is called the AmaDahlia. She is only going to have 34 staterooms. That means this ship's capacity is 68 people. That means this ship is selling out like crazy. Already 70% sold out for the year 2021. She's going to have the beautiful pool on the top deck with the shaded areas. We're due to get a couple more images of interiors soon, and I promise you it will look like the destination, because that's what Rudy does. When I'm on that ship in the Mekong, in Cambodia and Vietnam, it's built with the indigenous woods of the region and that French colonial decor. So you always know when you're inside the ship where you are in the world. Now, AMA does something else different. AMA does a lot of things different. AMA offers a pre or a post or both land tours that connect with the sailing. For instance, if you're going to sail the Danube, I would request that you promise me that you will add the 3 nights in Prague. Absolutely fabulous city. Now, the first time I did Prague, it was at the front end. So I was starting in Prague. I was traveling solo. I did not know one single person that was going to be on that ship. I walked into that hotel. There's the cruise manager at a desk in the lobby of the hotel. That evening, having a meet and greet, little champagne toast, talking about what we're doing the 3 days in Prague, transferring from the ship, from Prague to the ship with us, and then even doing the post-cruise. So we really scrambled you here because we're giving you 2 options on the front end and 1 on the back end for Egypt. One is 3 nights in Dubai. The other one is 4 nights in Jordan, which will be Amman and these ruins of Petra. But when we started talking about this destination about a year ago, I had in my head what I really wanted to do as a land extension, and they did it. Our post-cruise land extension is an offer of 4 nights in the beautiful Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Jerusalem. We're going to take you out to Masada. We're going to take you to the Dead Sea. We're going to see all the sights and sounds of Jerusalem. And then, what a way. I mean, what can you skip here? It's just amazing. Like I say, 70% sold out already. Now, because you joined us this evening, or if you watch this in a recorded version, I can offer you a $100 per person discount if anything is booked, and by that, I mean a deposit within a couple, 3 weeks of this event. Now, when I say deposit, again, very, very different for AMA. A deposit with AmaWaterways is $400, and then there's nothing else due until 90 days from the sailing. That means if you wanted to book December 1 of 2021 for the Christmas markets, you would put your $400 down, and then there's nothing else due until I think it's October of next year. So absolutely fabulous opportunity. Like I say, we do have some fly free offers, which would be either free air for you or free air for a companion, and Patty can hook you up with all of that. Now, I have to end with 3 quotes. The first one is near and dear to my heart because it's attributed to Buddha. But I think Buddha, and I so loved that Buddhist culture. It's so amazing to experience an entirely different culture. It's gracious, it's welcoming, it's cheerful, it's forgiving. But I think I would have stolen the quote no matter who said it, because Buddha speaks to all of us when he says, the trouble is, you think you have time. You're always going to feel this good. You're always going to be able to travel with your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews. Any of us know somebody who thought they had time and they didn't? So you can always make more money. You can't always make more memories. And nothing in this world makes memories better than travel. I say travel with your kids, your grandkids, come out of this and make things happen. Mr. Carson from Downton Abbey said it best when he said the business of life is the acquisition of memories. So I'm telling you, go out and make some memories. The story continues with AmaWaterways, and I have one other little tidbit for you. I have a favorite couple that owns a travel agency in Brentwood, Tennessee. That's Nashville. And they have two grown daughters. And a few years ago, they sat down with their daughters and they said, the last check we write is going to bounce. And I encourage you to do that. Think like that. I skipped a trip to Portugal 3 years ago. Oh, I shouldn't take the time off. Oh, I shouldn't spend the money. Boy, if that came my way right now, I would make it happen. So like I say, folks, think beyond. And I hope somebody has a question or two.
What about
there we go. Pardon?
solo travel?
Yes, just yesterday, we announced a single supplement of 25%. That means you pay the regular rate plus 25%, and you have the entire cabin to yourself. We have done this in the past on the fixed window cabin categories, but as of yesterday, we announced it is eligible on the balcony cabins. So take advantage. Like I say, I even did Southeast Asia solo. I made that entire 17-day trip solo because the cruise manager was there the whole time. It was one of the most amazing trips of my life. And I'll travel solo in a heartbeat. I got kind of spoiled. I kind of like having the cabin all to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anything from Mark?
No, a lot to take in and think about.
Did I tempt you?
A little bit.
Little bit? What are you looking for? If you want to travel to Europe, this is the way to do it. There's no putting suitcase out in the hallway every day. There's no driving. There's no Autobahn. There's no stoplights. This is the way to see the heart of Europe. So I hope you will put it on your bucket list. Back to you, Patty.
Okay, Kathy, thank you so much. This is awesome. And it brought back memories of my Danube cruise. Ugh. Yeah, Dürnstein, Austria was absolutely gorgeous. And I saw the very beginnings of the Christmas markets when they were being set up in Vienna. And
oh, that's painful. That's really painful when they're not when they're not operating yet.
Well, they were just operating, but it wasn't at full capacity. So it was like a tease.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. You can go back.
Absolutely. I plan on it.
Do the Rhine this time.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking of a Rhine cruise, the castles along the Rhine. Okay, so I think this is the part where we end up, and I want to thank everybody for joining me. And again, my name is Patty Maxwell. I'm the founder and travel consultant with Sybarite Travel, and I'm located on the beautiful seacoast of New Hampshire. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to answer questions. If there's no further ones, then I'm going to bid you adieu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Oh, are you near Portsmouth?
Yes, I am about 30 minutes from Portsmouth, actually.
I used to have family up there. Kittery, I want that lobster and that lobster. Yeah, just pretty amazing.
I'm halfway between Portsmouth and Kittery, so I have the best of both worlds.
Wow, cool.
Yes, I'm pretty close to the main border, so it's not too bad.
Super.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Think beyond and have a beautiful evening.
You also. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night.
Good night.